For 50 years, Florida has been the winter escape destination for millions of Americans and Canadians. Every November, snowbirds pack their bags and head south for sunshine. But something broke in 2024. Florida lost over 1 million visitors in 11 straight months. Canadian travel dropped 40%. In Sarasota alone, tourism spending fell by $10 million. These aren't random tourists. These are people who own homes in Florida. People who've been coming back every winter for 20 or 30 years. They're selling and never coming back. Hidden beneath the politics and hurricanes sits a financial bomb forcing regular people to make an impossible choice. Pay $15,000 a year for something that used to cost $2,000. Or walk away from your retirement dream. This choice is tearing families apart right now. By the end, you'll understand why this isn't just about Florida. It's about what happens when an entire economy built on seasonal visitors collapses, and you'll need to decide which side you're on. Chapter 1. Canadian Exodus. Joanne Rowe spent 10 winters in Fort Lauderdale. She loved everything about it. When her partner died, Florida became her healing place. But in early 2025, she canceled her trip. She's not going back. Statistics Canada reported something that should terrify Florida. In May 2025, Canadians driving across the border dropped 38%. Air travel dropped 24%. Travel agents in Toronto and Vancouver saw a 73% decline in Florida bookings. That's a collapse. Trump's tariff threats started it. In late 2024, Trump announced a 35% tariff on Canadian goods. He joked about Canada becoming the 51st state. Canadians felt insulted and hit back by keeping their money home. They chose Mexico, the Caribbean, Europe, anywhere but the United States. Each Canadian snowbird spends between $10,000 and $21,000 during their Florida stay. They rent properties for months. They eat at restaurants. They shop. When hundreds of thousands didn't come, billions of dollars vanished. Restaurant owners in Naples report empty tables. Hotels have vacant rooms in February. Golf courses suddenly have openings. The snowbirds, who made up 30% of Florida's winter population, growth just stopped coming. Chapter 2. Insurance Nightmare. Sarah Mitchell bought her dream Tampa condo in 2018. Insurance cost $1,800 a year. Manageable for a retired teacher. In 2024, her company sent a letter that changed everything. They were leaving Florida completely. She needed new coverage fast. Every company she called either wouldn't insure her or wanted $12,000 yearly. That's 6 times what she was paying. She couldn't afford it. She sold the condo and moved back to Michigan permanently. Her story is playing out across Florida right now. Thousands of snowbirds facing the exact same choice. Florida homeowners now pay an average of $14,140 per year for insurance. By 2025, that hits $15,460. The national average sits under $2,000. Think about that number. Florida homeowners pay 7 times more than people in other states just for basic coverage. For vacation homes, the situation gets even worse. Insurance companies see unoccupied homes as massive risks. They charge double or triple the normal rates. Some snowbirds are now paying $20,000 yearly just for insurance on homes they only use 6 months. That's more than some people's entire annual income. Major companies fled Florida completely in recent years. Farmers Insurance left. AAA pulled back significantly. State Farm stopped writing new policies. Then, Hurricanes Helene and Milton hit in October 2024, right before snowbird season. They caused billions in damage. Insurance companies raised rates even higher. They demanded expensive upgrades, new roofs on 10-year-old houses, hurricane-proof windows, elevated foundations. No upgrades meant no coverage. Citizens Property Insurance became the backup, but it covers over 1 million policies now. It's overwhelmed and raising rates 14% for 2025. Homeowners are trapped. They can't get affordable insurance anywhere. Some go without coverage. One major hurricane could wipe them out. Canadian snowbirds are asking if this is worth it. Many say no. Real estate agents report a surge in Canadian sellers. The dream of a winter home in paradise is dying. Chapter 3. Political divide. Money problems are bad enough. But politics makes families fight about whether to even go to Florida. Governor DeSantis pushed a conservative agenda. He banned teaching critical race theory. He restricted discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity. He allowed concealed weapons without permits. He fought Disney and cost taxpayers millions. He flew migrants from Texas to Martha's Vineyard. For some people, these policies don't matter. They want weather, not politics. But for others, these policies feel like a tax. The NAACP warned Florida is hostile toward African Americans. Equality Florida and Human Rights Campaign said LGBTQ travelers aren't safe. These warnings reflect real concerns. Sarasota lost 14,000 visitors between September 2024 and now. Tourism spending dropped $9.5 million. Some say it's seasonal. Others point to political climate. People who felt welcome now feel unwelcome. European travelers cite political instability. British tourists choose other destinations. This creates a choice ripping families apart. A couple loves their Florida winters. They've gone 20 years. But their gay daughter says she doesn't feel safe visiting them there. Do they keep their Florida home and lose time with their daughter? Or give up their retirement dream? This is happening right now. Parents are crying. Kids are angry. Nobody wins. Florida's image changed. It was known for theme parks and beaches. Now it's known for culture wars. Perception matters in tourism. People buy peace of mind. Florida doesn't feel peaceful anymore. It feels chaotic. Chapter 4. The hidden costs piling up that nobody talks about. Even if you ignore the politics and somehow afford the insurance, there are dozens of other expenses coming at you. Property taxes in Florida have been rising steadily without any signs of slowing. Some counties saw increases of 20 to 30% in recent years. HOA fees keep climbing month after month. Some condo buildings are hitting owners with surprise special assessments of $50,000 or more for basic repairs. Everything costs more. Airfare to Florida has gotten expensive beyond belief. The Canadian dollar is incredibly weak against the US dollar right now. What used to cost a Canadian 70 cents now costs them significantly more. Every restaurant meal, every single grocery store trip, every tank of gas costs more than it did just a few years ago. The exchange rate alone is eating deep into retirement savings. A typical Canadian snowbird used to budget $15,000 for their winter season. Now it's $25,000 to $30,000. That's a 50 to 100% increase. For people on fixed retirement income, that's impossible. They have to make cuts. For many, the easiest cut is Florida. Hurricanes add cost and risk. Helene and Milton devastated Florida's Gulf Coast in October 2024. Areas supposed to welcome snowbirds in November were cleaning up debris. Restaurants flooded. Shops closed. Condos were unlivable. The Van Wezel Performing Arts Center closed until January. These disasters create uncertainty. Will there be another hurricane? Will my property get damaged? Hurricane Ian in 2022 was one of the costliest storms in history. Helene and Milton caused billions more. Scientists say climate change makes storms stronger. The risk only goes up. As risk goes up, so do insurance costs. It's a cycle snowbirds are choosing to escape. Chapter 5. Choice. You've heard the facts. Now decide where you stand. This reveals who you are and what you value. Are you someone who believes money is all that matters? If you can afford the insurance and costs, ignore everything else. Or do you believe values matter more than comfort? That supporting a place whose policies you disagree with is wrong, even if it means giving up something you love? Some snowbirds choose option 1. They're staying despite everything. They've invested too much to walk away. Tim Wilkin owns a condo in Estero. He said Florida winters feel like camp for seniors. He made close friends. He's not giving that up for politics. his life on the ground hasn't changed. Other snowbirds choose option 2. They're walking away. Joanne Rowe said skipping Florida was her way of standing up as a Canadian. She felt disrespected and unwelcome. Her principles matter more than comfort. She's spending winter somewhere that makes her feel valued. Then there's a third group caught in the middle who want to stay but can't afford it. They're not making a political statement at all. Their insurance doubled or tripled. Property taxes went up. The Canadian dollar dropped. The math doesn't work. They're selling not because they want to, but because they have to. They're heartbroken. The effects are enormous. Florida's economy depends on tourism. Tourism generates $128 billion yearly. It supports 2.1 million jobs. When snowbirds stop coming, businesses close, jobs disappear, tax revenue drops. The government scrambles to attract tourists from South America and other markets. But replacing loyal snowbirds who spent months in Florida isn't easy. These people integrated into communities. They volunteered, they joined clubs, they became part of Florida life. Local business owners are terrified. A Naples restaurant owner saw a 30% drop in customers during peak season. He cut staff hours. He's worried about survival. A golf course manager said tee times impossible to get in February are now readily available. Less revenue means less money to maintain the course. It's a downward spiral. The question is whether this decline is permanent. Will snowbirds come back if Trump leaves office? Will they return if insurance rates stabilize? Or have they found new places they like just as much? Once someone discovers winter in Mexico or Portugal or Arizona, will they ever choose Florida again? Nobody knows. But evidence suggests at least some damage is permanent. The snowbird economy took generations to build. It started in the early 1900s with industrialists like Rockefeller and Edison. It exploded after World War II, when middle class could afford travel. Air conditioning made Florida livable year-round. Interstate highways made it accessible. Florida became synonymous with retirement and winter escapes. That reputation is at risk. Once lost, reputations are hard to rebuild. So where does that leave you? If you're a current snowbird, you're making these calculations. You're weighing costs against benefits, thinking about values, talking to family, deciding if this is the year you sell or tough it out. If you're thinking about becoming a snowbird, you're looking at these numbers wondering if the dream is even possible. If you're a Florida resident depending on snowbird dollars, you're watching nervously as your customer base shrinks. The choice isn't just about Florida. It's about how we respond to change. Do we cling to what we know even when it becomes painful and expensive? Or do we adapt and find new paths forward? Do we let politics influence where we spend our time and money? Or do we try to separate vacation choices from values? There's no right answer that works for everyone. Each person makes their own choice based on their own circumstances. But here's what's undeniable. Florida's snowbird era is changing forever. The days of cheap insurance and welcoming communities are gone. Politically neutral tourism is over. Whether you stay or go, you're participating in a massive shift reshaping Florida and the concept of seasonal migration. The question isn't whether change is coming. The change is already here. The question is how you'll respond. That answer tells you more about yourself than you might expect. This choice reveals what you truly value: your wallet or your principles, your comfort or your convictions, your past or your future. Whatever you choose, you'll live with the consequences for years to come. So what do you think? Are you Team America first? Or do you believe Florida needs those Canadian snowbirds to survive? Drop your opinion in the comments right now because I want to know where you stand on this. And if this video opened your eyes to what is really happening in Florida, smash that like button so more people can see the truth about this crisis. And speaking of Canadian politics affecting America, you need to see what just happened in Washington. Mark Carney just pulled off something that left Trump completely speechless. The video is on your screen right now. Click it because what Carney did changes everything we just talked about. Trust me, you do not want to miss this one.